Where are we on your channel?
Yeah, I mean, you can go live on Twitch if you want to. It won't shouldn't affect anything. I mean,
nobody goes over to Twitch. Just
we are live now.
You, Polly, and Daniel.
Yeah.
I got my chat working this time too.
It's about who's over there. You, me, Polly, and Daniel.
Well, it's all four of us now.
I was thinking about you the other day, Daniel. Somebody sent me a formula for calculating for mapping a magnetic field. I was like, wait a minute, this math is going to take me a week and a ream of paper. So I was like, I'll just send it to Daniel.
I don't know how I do what I do.
That math is way beyond me.
I'm a sponge, and when I squeeze the sponge, whatever comes out just comes out. It's funny but it's annoying to a lot of people.
Hey y'all, how was the audio, Hakeem?
So how are we supposed to see the live chat? What are you on? Are you on your homebrew chat?
Yeah, you just go to the stream.
Oh, it just gave me a notification of it.
Hello.
Now I'm gonna turn that volume down.
Yeah, mute the audio.
This a live chat? I'm over here on my laptop.
Yeah, we're live.
And on my computer.
Yeah, I do dual monitors. I have 2 computers down here, but the other one's not running yet because I got to figure out. I got to get a switch.
I just shared it on Facebook, but nobody pays attention to anything on Facebook.
All right, so sounds like the audio is good to the chat members.
Yeah, I could hear it when I was in there.
Okay. Usually that's the detail I gotta get worked out, but we got it this time.
Well, good morning, porn stars.
Welcome everybody from the sex cult. Welcome everybody. This is the sex cult. The joke. Where nothing like that is ever really discussed, but we don't know how that came even about.
Oh yes.
Your sexiness, Eric, your shirtlessness.
And moon racks.
See what you incited?
It's all my fault.
It is. That one part is.
All of it.
Yeah, just blame you.
I got broad shoulders. Give it up.
There you go.
Bad fish. Polly's the leader, though.
Yeah. So what we doing, leader?
Is the leader play magical chairs or musical chairs?
We have to talk
Just
to the leader.
Just depends on the day and the mood.
No, he's always a leader.
How many clothing items you're willing to remove, Daniel?
Hey, that dancing pole's going up.
I'm gonna have to go.
I've been told I can't dance nude on it, but I can wear spandex.
On the pole?
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Just be careful how fast you spin, Eric. You pull in your weight, you'll get more spin, like centrifugal force, like a.
Yeah.
And with spandex, you might generate a little more heat.
I'm thinking about the upside down glass blowing.
Being all fancy.
I'm gonna have to
I've been told I can't dance nude on it, but I can wear spandex.
There.
You're gonna have fried dangly cobras.
Oh dear.
I hope not. It's always a hazard at work.
For some reason, I still can't type in chat on OBS, so I was setting up the chat so I can type. All right. All right, so welcome everybody. We've got 6 viewers. We had 10,
Yes.
but I guess we dropped off some. I guess we scared some people away.
I wanted to share it, so to do that.
You scared some people away.
I don't usually use this laptop. How do I share this video from?
Go over to his channel. He's live.
What happened to your face, Eric?
I'm painted.
Looks like you fell on your face.
I mean, look. I'm painted.
Okay, so it's black paint.
Yeah, I'm painting murals. Been having a busy day.
Yeah, I
Going
saw
back
the
to
picture
the-
you sent me. That looked good.
I'm trying to figure out how to get on Zoom on my desktop, but it's being stubborn.
That's all right, robot.
I'm trying to remember my password for Facebook. I guess I'm not logged in.
Well, that's my problem for Zoom is my password's not working, so I'm looking on figuring out how to change it,
Just
but I
share it.
can't find that setting.
I don't like the way the chat's set up on this stupid laptop. It sucks. Fuck it. I like my chat on my desktop. It just scrolls as it goes, you know?
Yep.
I don't have to fuck with it.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's a stupid book.
I can sit here and watch Eric and read chat at the same time.
Yeah, that's how I like mine set up.
Oh, we're up to 12 viewers now.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Robot. 74.
Y'all notice that
Stay
5 in Russia?
everybody.
What, Polly?
Did you see that 5.0 in Russia?
No, I haven't. I need to get an app set up on my phone. Since I got a new phone, I don't have an app set up. I've installed it. I just haven't fussed with it. On my iPhone, I had a good app set up, and I had the alerts, anything over 6.0. But I've been trying to get the house set up, and I just did this room today. I got it pretty much set up. I still got to add
I'm
the
just having
LEDs on.
vibes in places where they're, you know, aren't normally. I mean, we're seeing a lot of fires in Panama.
7, 5 to the normal. It's normal.
Yeah, it's all normal.
I watched a video today on YouTube. It was one of those disaster channels that was reported there was like 344 earthquakes over 2.0 pretty much daily. There was a specific day. I think the 15th was the day. So, I mean, that's a lot. 344 worldwide.
Yeah, there ain't nobody talking about it.
Yeah,
John.
California every day.
Yeah, they can't be bringing any attention to anything except for the distraction that they've set up for this. The margaritas, yo. And did I not say it was going to attack people's hearts, their heart center, and make it hard for their emotions?
Well, there was a 4-year-old not long ago, in Chicago, that had heart trouble right after a jab.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are. Yeah. And that's, look, it wasn't an accident that I called that out. I saw what ingredients they're using. I saw how they attack the nervous system. And I realized it was much more the body that they wanted to attack, so more than the brain. And it was going to fucking center around that heart, because that's your fucking emotion center and your memory. And they want to fuck with that. And here, this is what it looks like. It's fucking nuts. They're creating the plague using the human host all day long. And it's insane what we're sitting here watching happen.
the elites have been attacking us for a long time here. You can go back to the opioid crisis, which created the homeless crisis, and then the pandemic, and now you're going to starve them out. And was it Charles Schwab wrote in that paper that that was their plan, and they would start with the white people, because if they started with any other race group, then it would be a racist act and it would start, an immediate revolution. But if they start with the white people and have everybody attacking the white people, your Trump supporters, whatever you want to call them, anti-vaxxers, Trump supporters, they're all lumping them into the same category as white supremacists. It's exactly as Charles Schwab said it would be. And who the hell is Charles Schwab to be freaking talking about pandemics and, starvation? For God's sakes.
Well, who the hell am I?
Right.
See,
Well,
Charles Schwab's bigger name than I am, and I fucking told people this shit was coming exactly step by step. I haven't missed a step. Right down to the exact medical problems you're going to have because of this thing. I was told the plan. I was told the fucking plan.
They're all run by the elites. Your government's owned by the elites. Your government is the elites. They are the business owners. Every industry in the world can be traced back to BlackRock. So, if you're looking for, who did this, it'd be the people with the money to do it. Simple as that.
The people that print the money.
Now they're doing it. Now
They've
they're
never
doing it at the
needed the
school
money.
board meetings. They're calling
And there's a whole family.
upset parents, domestic terrorists now, just for speaking out at a school board meeting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We the citizens need to reunite. And I mean, as long as you think a blue guy is better than a red guy, you're part of the problem. I don't care if you're a fucking red guy and think he's better than the blue guy.
Yeah, I agree.
They're all on the same team.
They're trying to make you think that the other guy's your enemy when really they're the enemy.
Yeah.
They're trying to hide
when you shake up you get 100 black ants, 100 red ants, you shake up the bottle, they live and find in the bottle, but you shake it up and pour it out, and then they start fighting because they're worried about who's the enemy. They didn't think about the guy shaking the bottle.
Right.
And that's exactly the scenario we're in right now.
It is.
Yeah, they're shaking the system.
They're shaking us up. And people are confused as to who, they're blaming the neighbors, and it's not the neighbors' fault. They're going under the same shit we are. Some of them are more compliant, but go figure. They watch too much TV, obviously.
So what are some solutions?
Well, there's a lot of propaganda. My God, they're crafty with the propaganda. People are not even aware that they're watching propaganda. If you watch regular television, especially your elder people who do watch daytime television and, look through the news channels, every commercial they're seeing is see your doctor. You need insurance. Don't be a burden on your family. Get health coverage. Every single commercial is telling them to go to the doctor. And your doctor is essentially the drug dealer for the pharmaceutical companies that are creating a homeless crisis, not just in the United States, not just in every major city in the United States, but around the world. Oh, it's China's fentanyl. No, it is pharmaceutical companies pumping that stuff into every city in the world.
Daniel had a good question. You should say it again.
What?
You had a good
My
question.
question, what are some solutions?
Well, I can tell you this much. When I started telling people to start pointing at the moon, I was by myself for years.
Yes, you were.
And you just stick to the facts. You don't let them get you distracted. And people will start looking. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I legalized marijuana when no marijuana was legal in this country. I legalized it.
For the moon thing, it's as simple as a fact. When you were a kid, what do you remember? Do you remember the light going across the moon? Yes. I don't remember the light circumnavigating the moon and the sun always being in view of the moon. That means we shifted everybody. Where's the confusion? There's no confusion. You're all bullshit liars. field rotation. Well,
that's
a lot of
fighting
stinking
against.
fucking cucumbers.
Our government planned on people like you and I noticing something was going wrong. And for 20 years before anything went wrong, they put out Marshall Masters talking about Nibiru. That's how they did it. One of the first things you got to do is tell a person, you tell them the moon, and when you get that weird look, I don't care what they say. You tell them, I said, look, this is your moon and your real sky. This is not Nibiru. This is not the Herboculus or any of that bullshit you ever heard of. That's your moon. When it rises, it's going to be like that. When it sets, it's going to be like that. Period. Your moon, not Nibiru's moon. You got to make that point clear.
Another simple little fact is when you look at ISWA, you can literally see our magnetic field shifting up and down. You don't think that has some gravimetric effect on the land or in the planet? Like, where's the confusion? We are shifting somehow. Whatever's doing it,
it's a massive magnet.
In the string.
Exactly. It's a bigger magnet coming in. Something big enough to affect the moon is still going to affect Earth magnetically.
He's got a hat and coat.
Well, I'm trying to keep it.
If you watch this one,
Yes,
you can see
right.
the rocks in the string. It's so evident, and anyone ignoring that is they're delusional. Indoctrinated is what they are. They're totally and completely indoctrinated.
Well, I see people using that fucking excuse too. Oh, it's just eddy current. Like, they absolutely have no idea what eddy current even means, because it exactly like it means that there's something in the middle of the flow.
Right.
So they're agreeing with you, but they're arguing with you, and it's like, no, dude, you actually don't know what you're saying.
Well, yeah, people don't. That's the thing with the moon, though, is they don't understand what the moon should do, or necessarily how the phases work. They just saw and didn't pay attention, so they just ignore you because they don't understand that it's wrong.
Uh-huh.
So you got to
show them a
educate
calendar
people on the basics of how the phases work. And
show them a calendar.
Hemisphere specific.
Well,
it shows you what it should look like every day. It doesn't matter.
I think a big reason why people find it such confrontational information is because this should be basic science. This should be well established. This is how could we have missed something this crucial? And it's this basic. I just think that's what goes on in people's minds is why they
cling to the complex used to have a rabbit in it. Now it looks like an angry dinosaur.
Good.
I mean, how are you not noticing that?
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
I do not notice the craters shifting.
If I haven't heard it 5,000 times, I haven't heard it once. But how did I miss that? How did I miss? I don't know how you missed it. You weren't trained to see it like I was. Maybe.
We didn't miss it. As soon as I heard you say it and you said, go look, I looked and I'm like, oh, this is something to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I sat there 4 days every night watching the fucking thing and I'm like, no. No, that's not right.
Yeah, it's not. It's amazing what's going on. A lot of people you might look at the moon once, and you're not thinking about it throughout your day.
It's amazing when you point it out to people, and you're like, look at the moon. Just look at the moon, and they look at it. And then you start doing something, and 20 minutes later, you're like, look at the moon. And they look at it. And then 20 minutes later, you're like, look at the moon. And they look at it, and they're like, what the fuck? It's changed.
It's changed.
It's like, why don't they want to invest just the little bit of time it takes to observe? Just sit there and have a fucking coffee.
Yeah. If somebody told me the moon was upside down, I would have to go look. You can't say anything until you do look. But I would.
Why am I seeing a southern hemisphere? Why am I seeing a southern hemisphere moon? It makes no sense.
I know what I sound like when I open my mouth, but if you go look, it's not me that's crazy. It's fucking crazy that the moon's rolling. I understand it sounds crazy, and it is. It really is.
The people that have the basic understanding, they get it immediately. Because we have conversations with people, and they're like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, I explain. They're like, "Oh, I'll have to look at that." And then there's the people that are just like they don't care, and then there's the people that just stare at you like, I have no idea. So, oh well, it doesn't affect my daily life.
Yeah, it does.
It will eventually.
Back,
For sure.
back when Eric started,
There was no food on the shelves.
the Eskimos were saying the same thing.
You know, if you go back and you watch the oldest videos, Eric Briggs. Oh, that's my daughter calling. So sorry about that. Anyway, if you go back and you watch the oldest videos, you can clearly hear Eric say they're gonna make it look like incompetence, which it's obviously not. This shit's intentional. If you can't tell it's intentional by now, you're incompetent. And he said they were gonna plan a pandemic, and then they were gonna announce the food shortages. And damned if it hasn't happened exactly as he said it was gonna happen.
That's true.
Hello, food shortages.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of people forget that I was actually a person that would advise these people. I know how they work. I know how they have to have things in place. What I did is I ran the grain numbers, and I found out the day the shelves were show deficit. I hadn't figured in Wendy's stopped selling beef, but I knew some bad shit was going to hit the market that day. And 2 weeks prior had to be the last day that they could possibly put in an excuse and have it pounded into your head that that's why there's food shortage. That's the only reason I knew it had to be that day for lockdown, because of the policy of I saw a disaster.
It's
and if
you're voting for Donald Trump and you're unvaccinated and you shop at Walmart and it's your fault that we don't have any food on the shelves because you don't want to go back to work.
I am working. I'm hanging off a building.
When we know damn good and well that they did all this.
Yeah.
Right down, they planned it all.
And a common theme in chat is I talk to lots of people and they don't care. Well, that's just a person that you really don't want to invest time in trying to explain things. You want to just, if they don't bite, then just move on and spend your time on people who are interested.
You plant a seed, and I'll tell you what, when their house starts shaking, they'll be knocking on your door.
Yeah. When people say, "Oh, there's nothing going on, there's nobody dying," but no, you look like a lot of disaster channels, and they show you what's going on worldwide, and you're like, people are dying now.
Yeah, they are. I've watched.
We are very lucky in the United States.
Doesn't care unless it's happening right here in front of her. She doesn't care. She doesn't want to hear about it, but she's prepared for it. She knows it's happening. You can see it all around you. She just doesn't want it in her face because she's got to live life, She still has to go to work and pay bills and take care of things. So she didn't want to take the time to be, as involved in it as we are. I guess.
I work and pay bills too, my dear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
But there's always 10 or 15
I enjoy my research.
It's not that hard.
You're outside out of mind,
Yeah. That's. I don't want it out of mind. I make a bad decision with it out of mind.
Well, for some people, Paul, what they needed to do is, of course, research, and then a lot of people, even me, you got to take some breaks, a little bit from it, so you don't get so wrapped up and stressed out. It's stressed out with the subject, and people we go so gung ho at it, and it's like, oh, and then they're you still got to be able to live your life. So you got to take breaks.
Right. And you asked why they don't want to admit that that's what's happening, because they want their slave labor force to continue doing slave labor.
Well, and
you got 7 billion people coming after 600.
Exactly. That's what they don't want.
But the thing becomes is if people are in harm's way, regardless of whatever the facts are, there is more people that need to stand up and realize that it's their health, their life, their whatever. And if you are in harm's way, to ask the real darn questions.
Yeah.
It's who has the right to tell anyone what they can and cannot do? The only qualification any of us have, any human has over anybody else is, oh, you've been here a little bit longer. You may know a few things more than me or anybody. But it comes down to it. There's more people that are put in harm's way that need to stand up and do something because you're all witnesses at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is, when you come to the end of it, end of the day, this whole fucking bullshit led us to the most amazing discovery humanity's ever had, and since they put it on that fucking wall. In my head, we've got omnipresence down to the fucking atom, and we've got omnipresence in our fucking soul, and you can feel it. That has helped me personally more than anything in my life. And I think it goes with every individual that's come to the channel and started going from oldest to first, because they go through that fucking journey with me. I didn't know any of that shit when it came to light. I had what that old journey is me literally going to science journals, medical journals and shit, and proving to myself what I was fucking reading. Because it made an awful lot of sense. And we've got answers now. We've got a solution. We've got the solution. It's just how do we get it out there? Just keep sharing it, and it grows.
You know,
What time?
it would help if some of these agencies like NASA, whatever, would cooperate. Because NASA that's where I learned that it is more common to live in a multiple sun system than a single sun system. How hard is it for you to start telling the children that, so that when they say, hey, do we live in a multiple sun system? You can answer, yes, as a matter of fact, we do. How fucking hard is it?
Yeah.
Just because you cannot define the physics and the math of it does not mean it is not real.
Well, that's what we were teaching on those walls, and the physics and the math of it is real.
We know it then.
And we can prove it. We have. Obviously, it's been proven. So you can prove it. NASA should be talking about it. Christ's sakes, they've known it. Look at their in-lil monitors and everything else about NASA. They've known about this fucking shit since the last time it happened.
Yeah, they use all the names. Yep.
Yes, they're using all the names. That's why I said I thought it was funny that they were sending Lucy out into space to probe asteroids on Jupiter. Because Lucy is my daughter and Jupiter is my granddaughter. So I thought, hey, that's kind of funny, throw me in there with it. The rest of them.
Yeah, Lucy was supposed to be the missing link, and turns out she wasn't.
Yeah, never a straight answer. That's the whole thing. But that doesn't mean we live on a frisbee.
No, William Shatner cleared that up. He said he went out there and the Earth is round.
Good.
Yeah, I saw that he went. Yeah, I just saw like a YouTube thumbnail as I was scrolling through.
Yeah.
But it was funny that someone just posted in the group the William Shatner in the interview saying, the natural disaster.
Well, he's old, and you look at who. Well, I don't even know why they let him on the TV.
I'm so glad they let him into space, because now I don't feel bad for wanting to be a science officer in Trump's Space Force.
Well, Paula, you would be fucking too good. You'd be overqualified for that.
I'm ready.
Well, I know they're moving forward on the Space Force, because I actually did a little work for it on a military base.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They are.
Near, like, Space Force.
Well,
why would you use Space Force if there wasn't other forces out there to fight?
Yeah. I never really saw the point why you would need it if it's, if it's just for humans on other countries. But, we were saying, well, why don't they change the history books, and teach different? But, I mean, they're still saying Columbus discovered America, but...
Yeah. I think we know that that's not true.
The Vikings,
you know what? The history books have about 3 paragraphs on the Vietnam War. And I promise you, I have reams of paperwork on the Vietnam War up in my mama's attic. What they tell you is nothing compared to, the truth. It's nothing like it.
They also tell you Ra is a god. And the feathered serpent's somebody different. And it's not. We're looking at it in the stones. It's a global language, same story, same players, same people. They just draw it different. But you can tell they're the same fucking people because they keep those technicalities about it.
Right.
Never a straight answer. I was at National Association of Space Actors.
It's wrong because we have, come on, Tesla's free energy. You're going to sit here and fight wars over oil when you know damn good and well that's not even necessary. You're killing people.
As far as Tesla goes, though, Polly, you got to think about it. That shit that they've been passing off as Tesla's tech, very dangerous. It could fry a motherfucker real fast. I don't believe we've ever seen Tesla tech. They confiscated his shit. What makes you think they're going to give us anything?
I think he knew that the pyramids were an energy source or an energy output source.
Well, look at the Dindera box. Look at fucking stupid Ken Wheeler over there with his fucking magnets making light.
Right.
You know, they knew that too.
I know Daniel has a great theory, or not necessarily a theory about the pyramids and what the chambers do. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Daniel's reading.
I'm trying to get my desktop on. I'm trying to change my password, but
I think
we knew the pyramids were
I think it was a hydrogen generator. I think it was a hydrogen generator that used a condensation net on the top, and there was no gold cap, and it pulled moisture in through paint, through basalt veins. That's what I mean. There was no gold cap.
Yeah, no, I've said that several times. Absolutely, you're right.
And I think the water went in, and it created some friction on piezo crystals, which caused separation in it.
Right, there was a chemical
that
reaction.
Moisture would go down the Grand Gallery and rock tumbler systems, just gently. It would fill up into the aquifers underneath, swell the ground. That would create pressure upward on the base of the pyramid, causing the copper rods to piezostatic from the rock pressure, and it would slowly fill up with oxygen in the king's chamber and hydrogen in the queen's chamber until it would meet at the base, and then there would be an explosion, and that water would fill up inside the pyramid and then run out through ground channels and basically be reconstituted water. You control water, you control the people.
And we know the stone that they use conducts electricity.
Yeah, big old capacitor.
But it was also a device. It was a multifunctional device because there are so many other things you could do with it. I showed John a video of them mirroring the top of it during a specific date. If you had the proper casing stones all white, it would mirror a perfect 4 extra angled lights that you could make a giant Fresnel laser.
Yeah, and it produces water too, so you got water and electricity out of one device.
And heat. Yeah, and heat.
As a byproduct, yeah.
Well, then, because it's hermetically sealed, you also have pressure.
Well, isn't there evidence of water in the chambers and stuff? Didn't they finally
underneath still? Underneath, but no one is allowed to go in underneath. That's the problem, is whatever's underneath the pyramid, they won't let anyone down there because they know what's down there.
Right. That's it exactly. They know what it is.
And it's a giant sarcophagus in pure water. What do you think that is?
Well, I think admitting to it takes away some of their
I wouldn't say a
power.
sarcophagus. I wouldn't say a sarcophagus. I would say a special chamber.
Sarcophagus. Resonant chamber.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you'd vibrate your aquifer underneath.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you would vibrate or how you would vibrate it through resonance, but that's definitely how you would do it. And it's, if you look at John Keeley,
You're right, Randy.
his research into dynaspheres, he has a lot of interesting theories about what a contraption called a Daniels battery. And it's 4 jars connected with electrodes with salt water inside that you resonate, and it acts like a transceiver. This is the same method that the dude that built Coral Castle apparently levitated his stones with.
What if they're just using an existing frequency like Schumann or, I mean, obviously there are other frequencies naturally around. They've got to probably use one of those instead of generating a different frequency.
I have no idea how they did it. I just know it is so advanced that I can't explain how smart they fucking were.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Good job trying.
I'm trying to reconstruct something that's already here. It's like, how the fuck did they do that?
Well, they understood magnetics and frequency a lot better than we did, obviously. Their damn buildings were built with it in their temples. And I'll tell you one thing. If you take and decipher all those fucking frequencies that they built their temples with and all that shit, you'll find your frequency, Daniel.
Oh, yes, you will.
You know, that's what I've learned from these people. I mean, that was our language. That's the only language we had. You know, and they tell us that in the cuneiform. We didn't have spoken language. We had physics. We had the language of the heart, and we understood it. Now we do again.
I wonder if there are older texts.
We just got to figure out some of these frequencies that they've been using. I think the most important one, though, of course, is that 1748. That just, Christ's sake, man, that's a mind bender. You can't. People ask me, is it important that I understand the exact hertz? And I'm like, no, it's not. But what is important is we've actually proven omnipresence. It's not just something you're reading in a fucking book anymore.
But it's interesting when you say 1748 hertz, because if you take 2048 hertz and you minus 300 hertz and you oscillate that between left and right, you get your 1748 hertz.
Math is awesome. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's
good.
It is. It doesn't
what does the math entail? Okay, so you have two 124s. There's your mother and father. And then you have 300 hertz. There's your 3 signals.
Yeah. No, I get where you're going with this. Yeah, man, that's your DNA. That's everything.
That's everything.
Triple DNA.
It's the triple mechanics. It's not the double. That's for
them. Yeah.
If we only had 2, it wouldn't work. That's like your windshield wipers going back and forth. How do you get that invisible? It looks radiant, but it's not.
Invisible Lagrange point between the thing you can't see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be a whole string.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. That's why I love you, Daniel. You're very brilliant. And
you are too, sir. I don't know how I do what I do, and I sound like a tard.
Well, we're all part of that. Like mine, I guess.
Yeah, you, John, you're the one that brought me the frequency. I'm sitting over there trying to figure out math on this thing, and you're all like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Holy fuck!"
Here.
It takes us all to figure this out. You bet.
It does take us. I wish more people understood that. Okay, so yeah, bad things have happened, everybody. That's inevitable. Bad things have happened, but no one would be who they are today if the things that hadn't happened. So let's get over the fact that these bad things happened, and let's make a better choices of it, because all things work together for good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who you are right now at this moment is not the person you are going to become. When the shit goes
there's so
down,
much more potential.
Yeah, you're gonna be someone else, and you're gonna speak with your heart magnet.
Yeah,
good or bad.
Just straight. Give it straight. I mean, you know me. I will burn down a bush to get to a point. Fuck, I ain't gonna be around.
I'm about to burn down the courthouse with just fury. Don't worry about that.
I can
Man, Daniel, I was trying to tell you, those courts are freaking whack, man. There is nothing rational going on in a courtroom, I promise you. You pass over that freaking threshold, you cross into that little freaking bower ship, and it's over.
I'm aware. Okay, so the 21st, I have a first appearance. Now, I'm aware that it's only like, what do you plead? Well, I'm going to sit there and I'm taking my time, and I got 10 years of stuff, and you're going to be like, how have you not snapped by now? And I'm going to be like, because I'm a good person. And I try to have patience, but I'm sorry, I'm fed up. Now, if
I'm here too. I believe this
happened
I'd be
to me.
fed up if I was you too.
Now, this courtroom full of people that I have known my whole life helped me raise my kids. Okay, this happened in the courtroom. Y'all know I had seizures, and I was taking medication for my seizures, and they kept switching my medication because I'd react to one. Let's try another. You know how it goes. You're a guinea pig. So I'm taking this medication, and I'm having issues with my daughters. We're in family court, and my daughter says to the judge, "My mom does not act normal when she takes her medication." The judge turned straight to me and said, "Miss Tardif, you need to continue taking your medication as prescribed."
Okay.
I stopped taking it that freaking day. I was like, did you not just hear what my child said to you? I was done at that point. I was done with their medication, done with the doctors, done with the courts. I'm like, these people are insane. There's no logic, no reasoning in that courtroom.
Nope, I totally agree. I said I would do it. I said whatever I told Creator I would do, whatever I would do. I didn't say I would do it willingly. I said I would go screaming, hollering, throwing all the way. But I will do it. Don't worry. I'm going to shake everything.
I guess
or at least what part I can.
Needing to go to court.
Because unfortunately, my son is, my son.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do, and that's right. You stand up for your rights and stand up for the kid's rights, man, because the kid has right to see his daddy.
Absolutely.
It's just a simple fact that I haven't seen him in 2 years, and they just finished serving me. I have fun with that. Look, like they finished finalized court, so they're all in contempt. They've literally
they violated your rights by not allowing you to see him.
Yeah. Oh, I requested variations. They were denied several times. Even supervised, like.
Yeah, that's not. See, that's not even right. They cannot do that.
I'm aware, but they think because I'm alone and because I'm aggressive, and I come off as a threat because I don't care.
Because you don't play their game, you
stand up for your rights. That's what makes you a threat.
Change the rules.
Right.
That's what's going on with my wife. She's mentally deluded. Medically has a problem.
That breaks my heart, Eric. Your situation, like I listen to your situation, and you really don't know how to feel because you like this woman.
I do.
And it's like, what the fuck? I don't mean to swear, but
yeah, I do. I don't know. No, it's exactly what the fuck. I've got a DSS worker telling me the fucking cops are doing something nefarious with my wife and fucking 7-year-old kid. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? What does that mean? Is she in a ditch? I don't fucking know.
But from a psychological standpoint, that's almost setting you up for failure because what are you supposed to do? Are you going to react? Are you
Yeah.
going to snap?
Well, you know that's what they're waiting
Yeah,
on.
it's like they're prodding.
That's what I mean. Are they setting you up for failure?
No, I actually did something I don't think they expected me to do because I'm not sure that they understand that I really am who I say I am. I went above their heads. The FBI, the fucking ombudsman, everybody's up her fucking ass tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because what do? You know, that's someone
I've
you love.
made those little videos, and I'm posting all those videos in La Junta channels. La Junta this, La Junta that. There's thousands of people in those things. There's only a couple thousand people in this fucking town.
Right.
You know, so everybody's seeing what they're doing. I'm making sure of it. I don't give a fuck if I have to look up every goddamn person from La Junta and give them a personal copy. Everybody's going to know what these fucking pigs are doing down here. That's all I got.
In this
At this
2
point.
years.
They
2
want to
years.
talk about how I brought attention to them. No, fuck that, man. They brought attention to themselves when they started fucking with the law and fucking with my wife and fucking with her fucking head. It's fucked up.
Especially since she's not in the right state of mind to be.
Well, so, yeah. Well, if she was in the right state of mind, then fucking that's up to her. But
What's
fuck, man,
frightening
that's
is
what
that
she's
she's
been
not
doing.
from this country. She has no people here.
And each and every one of you have witnessed her doing crazy shit. And it's like, what the fuck is going on with this?
Yeah.
She's definitely not in her right mind. And there's no question about that. And that's why I'm running into this problem. Because exactly, she's 10,000 miles away from anybody that can do anything except for me. And if the cops can keep me at fucking bay, they can do anything they fucking want to with it. Well, I'm making sure that that ain't going to fucking happen as best as I can. I've asked my subs, you know, all of them, anybody know anything about fucking law? Because I need some fucking help. Nobody came here, so I started screaming louder.
And your comment doesn't make any sense, Joe, bro.
See, I wish I knew more law, but I'm in my own situation, and it's like, I know what my rights are, but they don't want to acknowledge that either.
They don't care what your rights are. Look, they put a no contact
right
order.
This way. Right this way, sir.
And they put a no contact order between us. Now, I know Tennessee law says no contact order is 14 days unless you go before a judge and the judge extends that. And she can for 1 year. Okay? So there's a no contact order for 14 days. They tried to convince my daughter that she was never allowed to speak to me again unless she went back in front of a judge. I'm like, the fuck? I picked her up that night. We went back to Texas. Forget you. You're not going to lie to my daughter and tell her that a no contact order is indefinite when I know the law.
That's exactly what they told my ex, and that's what she believes. So I have no access. And the judge literally signed off on me having no access, and she got sole custody. This is why they're all in contempt, and I'm about to explode. It's going to be one of those moments that I wish I recorded.
Yeah, but you can't
calmly, collectedly, just rip apart everybody by the seam, one by one, with a shear knife and a fucking like I'm sewing. I'm gonna be creating something fantastic.
Yeah, you got to record everything. I don't care what's going on, family or fucking just a regular every fucking day. You should be very.
They twist words. They all twist words. The lawyers, the cops, the judges.
Yeah. Oh no, they sit down and talk about how they can turn it around to make it worded to where you're the bad guy.
In Cornwall, and I don't want to talk bad about my hometown because, well, whatever. But in Cornwall, you can literally watch the video remands sitting in court, and they make fun of people before they come in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you guys are supposed to be professional. Like, go get a new job, please.
Dude, the court I was in, they were joking. The judge and the little secretaries were joking about whether the bailiff was going to be sober today or not. The first DCS worker they sent to my house staggered down my hallway. I stopped her. I said, no, you come back this way. And she walked back towards me, staggering, obviously high on something. And she wasn't drunk. She was high on something.
Wow.
And I brought her back to the front door. I said, you walk right back out there and don't you come back to my house. And she was mad that I sent her out of my house. But as soon as I got a hold of her supervisor, boy, I let them have it. How dare you send someone intoxicated over here to interview my children? Then they really didn't like me.
Yeah, I'm sure I've made some friends this week myself.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at.
People are telling me, run, move. I'm like, no. Number one, she's still here going through this shit. What the fuck kind of fucking person would I be just to be like, fuck that?
Well,
fuck that.
You want to talk about funny situations? I've had a CAS agent, a child aid agent, come to my house, apprehend my child, and tell me to put down my other child. I'm like, you do realize the only reason I haven't snapped and thrown you out of my house is because I'm holding my child right now? Put down my child? Are you sure you want that?
Right. Exactly.
This is the only thing keeping me contained. And it wasn't the child that they were taking. So it's like, no.
And I think the whole point of that is that when anyone starts to tell the truth and talk about how they have lied for centuries, they lied to your great-grandmother, your grandmother, your mother, and your sister. And when you start talking about how it was all a lie, they want you to shut up. They want you discredited, disqualified. They don't want to hear you speak again.
That's why you got to record everything. How many people have tried?
So you can't live it down.
They're still trying right now. Right now. Like I said, I understand what's going on in this fucking place. They're waiting to see me fuck up. But the more they fucking poke me, the more I record, the more I document, and the more I stack on top of what they've done. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting a court date in 9 days. It will be fucking
Be right back.
Says, I'll have my day in court. I've kept these records, and they're going to see what the cops are going to do.
My situation doesn't look good, but I'm not concerned. My son is almost at the age that he can make the choice, and I know his situation isn't, I know him. He is my spitting image.
Mine are all grown. I got nothing left to lose.
11-year-old son and 7-year-old daughter.
It's just me and the dog now.
I think you'll have pretty decent luck in court if you go in there and stand up and present a case. They can't keep your son from you forever. You can also appeal.
Their job is to reunite families. That is the entire goal of their position, is to reunite families and give them the resources they need to stay together.
Yeah. The problem in this town is, though, all the lawyers won't go against the police and they won't go against the children. And I bring up what's already happened and I have all the documents. But as soon as I go into the details, they're like, they don't want to do it. And I'm like, really? Really?
Talking together, having lunch together, or drinks.
Yeah.
They're all buddies.
The attorney
I'm going into the courtroom with no lawyer. It's going to be epic because I'm going to try to force the details.
Fuck yeah. Present the details.
The attorney told me that if you go after the police, it's just going to subject you to more harassment from the police.
Yep.
Excuse me, I have a text message coming in. Sorry about that. I had a message coming in.
And really, I'd just like to see the whole system fail, personally. Let it all shut down. Let's
You
start this over.
you know what
again.
it would you know what it would take, and listening to a lot of different people, including Ken Wheeler and a few other opinions, it would take one free energy idea and the whole system would collapse.
Yeah,
Ken's got
Yeah.
that.
Daniel.
What the fuck's wrong with the board?
I don't have the resources. I honestly think the system is a lot easier than what even Eric suggests. I think you could use ancient Roman water lifts, a well, a water wheel, and have the water wheel spin right back into the well. Now you have perpetual motion, and you use that kinetic energy to spin generators. I think the setup is really easy. I don't know how to make it catch on, and I've tried to get grants and I've been denied because, it's too simple.
It's too simple. It works too good.
I literally watched this dude on a farm use this well thing with a cow. And I'm like, okay. You just need to get some guy spinning around that thing until you get enough water going.
Right, to get it perpetual.
Yeah, you need to get the water going off the water wheel, and that will keep your motion spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Using water weight, it falling at a height, because as it falls, it creates impact force.
That's how they ran the grist mill and ground.
I am 100% dead certain. 100% dead certain. Ancient Roman had electricity. They used their aquifers, spouts, and that same system to spin generators underneath the ground.
Well, you can't electroplate without electric.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm 100% dead certain. I'm 100% dead certain.
I have to agree with you.
Looking at that special, ruby opal cup that changes colors, and they say it has nanotechnology embedded into it. Yeah, they had electricity.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did.
A beautiful aquifer system, man.
Yeah, they were really high tech with their aquifer systems too.
And okay, so I played Assassin's Creed, and I've literally stood just standing there looking at these Roman aquifers, and it makes perfect sense. When you go into the game and you go into the underground catacombs and you're like, what the fuck, man? And you're just looking around, you're like, aha. Those catacombs were all generator rooms.
See, Mom, video games did teach me something.
See? I learned about history. Partial history.
You're funny.
I like stories. I have a good imagination.
Yeah.
Someone thinks posts are being deleted. I guess comments are being deleted, but obviously I ain't deleting anything.
That's not me.
Well, I'm the only one that could and believe
John.
It would say.
Yeah, are you eating a donut, John?
It would be deleted if I deleted it.
Well, I saw him let Chill Bro fucking say something too, so I know John ain't killing nobody.
Yeah, see, they keep coming in with different names. Chill Bro is probably Chill Bro coming in with different names saying the same thing.
Okay, so is that who? Why you lying?
Yeah.
No, this is not the same moon that Da Vinci saw.
No.
So then you have not been paying
Chill Bro is
attention.
probably fly fishing with pickles. Another biscuit, please. Why are you lying?
You might want to do a little bit more research on what the moon is supposed to look like, and then go actually look at it, and you will see that it does not look the way it is supposed
Hey,
to.
Nicholas.
Who gives a fuck about Da Vinci? Why don't you bring me the goddamn NASA link? I have a fucking $1,000 for a NASA link, you stupid fuck. Bring me the NASA link that says it's normal for my moon to do 180 degrees. I will pay you $1,000 and suck your fucking dick. I'm fucking sick of you fucking fucks. Fuck Da Vinci. Fuck your North Star. Fuck you.
a simple thing for these people. How is it that the moon's light goes around the moon? Okay, so you're telling me that the moon's always in view of the sun? Always. Always. How is that? How? How? How on earth tonight you see the moon's light go around the moon and the moon shift? The craters move, everything moves. How? Well, how? Sorry.
They're
No,
listening
you
to
didn't
it.
show. Give me the NASA link. I got $1,000 for you. I'll be right back.
No links have been
I will
posted.
give you a crisp high five and say you're right. I don't got $1,000, so I can't make that deal.
Okay, I'll see here.
2 high fives.
Wages
No
World
more speed
debunked
deleted.
our
No
moon
codes to
roll,
be
guys.
deleted.
You know, Wages World debunked us, right?
Yeah.
Wages World wouldn't know a NASA link to debunk us if we freaking gave it to them. No, you're mistaken.
I get all my philosophy from my pooch. Her name's Sophelia.
It's kind of hard to debunk hemisphere-specific views by latitude.
Right. I'm not in Australia. I should not be seeing what looks like an angry dinosaur. I should be looking at a bunny rabbit. Am I wrong?
No.
No.
Here, I shouldn't see an equatorial moon.
Right. That's exactly what I mean. I should not see a moon that looks like it should be down in Peru.
Hey, Purple Gal, this is we.
I got $3,000. I got $3,000. Like $3,000 fucking dollars. Where's my NASA link? Fuck face. Where's my fucking NASA link? Huh? Where the fuck is my NASA link?
We're
That was
waiting.
a quick run
Give
to the
me a
bank
goddamn
there.
NASA link.
We're waiting, troll.
Come on, bitch. Fitties, all day. All day, motherfucker. Give me a NASA link.
Eric just
Right.
went and robbed the fucking little kid next door.
Give me all my piggy bank.
Horrible.
I want a NASA link. I got money. I got money for a NASA link.
Eric just went to the
They got a
ATM.
NASA
Wanted
link.
to
They
make
said,
sure.
wait, World debunked us.
No, I bet my money was my dead hookers and gold, buddy.
Well, we need resources for the sex cult.
Yeah. I want a NASA link.
Right.
I want your fucking lip service. I don't want Da Vinci. I want a NASA link.
I think
Or
fucking normal.
Or any professional space agency link that you can provide articles.
Give me a European fucking space agency link. Give me the Chinese fucking space agency link that say the moon is supposed to do motherfucking cartwheels. I'll give you some money. Where's it at? You got
Eric will sit there translating each little symbol one by
I
one.
want to see it.
Don't worry, we look at walls. We'll translate those Chinese symbols. We'll make sure that contract's legit.
Yeah, I've been saving money.
Getting to the Chinese temples, man. Can you imagine?
You know what? I'll pay for a Chinese lesson so I can read the motherfucker myself. Give me a link. I want a link.
Oh, you're hurting me. You're hurting me.
You're right. It's not normal.
Well, we don't see it.
Oh yeah, I'm angry because I'm laughing at you. I'm angry because I got the money. I don't owe anybody anything, but I got more money than motherfuckers owe people. Fuck you, man. Me and my anger. I got angry.
Now or what?
Fuck you.
We talked about this 2 days ago.
On a goddamn NASA link. I'm saying, hey, I've been working my ass off. Look, I'm saving for a fucking lawyer. I'm fixing to sue everybody, including NASA, for a link because it's so normal. I want to see it. Fuckers.
You get no credit for a homemade fishing site.
Enjoy the pity party. You know what? We found.
I will know, and I will backlog and track. Okay.
Pity party.
We're missing the key.
Oh, I know who that is.
I'm gonna
That's
sit here
fucking
just
Biscuit.
like this, so they can't say that.
Look that over here, don't we?
That's that fucking Biscuit dude. that's fucking Derek. Hi, Mr. Bros. How are you doing? I'm glad to see billionaires who spend their fucking time and money in our chat. That's pitiful. That's fucking pathetic. You ain't got nothing better to do with all your money. You got to come out and hang out with me and John, and Polly, and Daniel, be a dumbass in front of everybody.
Right.
Your mom must be so proud of you.
Obviously, he doesn't need the $1,000. He makes so much money to tell us we're wrong. So
He said he sent a link and we're slow, and I think he sent a link to Wages World.
he sent it
We've already-
somewhere else. He didn't put it in chat. That's for sure.
You need to go to Oldest First.
And he'll just say, "Oh, I deleted it." Well, I'm going to sit here with my hands in plain view. So we're still waiting. Hey, you guys post links in chat and show that they show up.
Yeah, there's no link posted in chat. So.
And Jelly is the only moderator in here, and he just got here, so he wasn't.
I don't see any
all those
links
deleted.
What's up, Jay? How you doing, bub?
But then again, the link would show up and then show deleted if I did. But
right,
that's not the case.
He didn't have a link. He just dropped Wages World.
Comment deleted or whatever the verbiage is. Everyone in chat would see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't seen no damn links. He
There
said
ain't no link in there. He just mentioned Wages World. That was it.
Who what?
He just mentioned Wages World. That was it.
Who?
That was his
Yes,
link.
because Wages World talks about paralytic angle.
The Wages World doesn't count. It's not NASA. It's not the European Space fucking Agency, nor Chinese Space Agency. I gave you 3. You go to those, give me the link, says the moon should do a cartwheel, because I got NASA dial moon that says 7.7 degrees libration. That's it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Wage even claims not to be a professional, and he's just informing people of what's going on in the world at this current moment.
I claim to have been trained by the U.S. Navy and driven nuclear missile around the world. And I will hold that claim to my death because I got my DD-214. I'm showing all my fucking previous videos.
Wage also claims not to be giving any advice. He's just informing people.
Yeah, he's not
your so-called professional. And he doesn't make that claim. So don't put him under the spot and be like, "Oh, Wage is the truth."
Yeah, he goes with NASA.
Apparently, Warmest Biscuit has the key, y'all.
Give it up.
And I'm not discrediting Wage. He's great. It's just he's not the source we're looking for or you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm looking for NASA or the European Space Agency or the Chinese space program. And
I can tell you the moon is not right.
So if you can bring any of that, I got fitties.
That's about enough to buy that 28-year-old you were talking about.
Hey, you know what? I ain't got to buy her. I think she paid me.
She'll buy you, Eric.
Well, you know, I got a 46-year-old wife that don't want to be around me, but I got a 28-year-old little honey that thinks I'm sexy. Wow. I'm like, you know, I can't see where that's exactly wrong. You know.
For your shirt.
Anyway, I'm just saying.
Older people have done worse.
Yeah.
The oldest have done the worst.
I don't actually think anything bad would come out of this. It'd be more of a
Listening to some of Josh
mutual
Reeves'
fun thing.
stories, you know, our ancient elders have done some really bad things.
I'm still being a good boy. It's not easy when you're working against cops, though, and a delusional fucking wife.
So I had a fun thought the other day in the shower. I'm like, okay, so what if the last time that we had this ability of being like Omni, we were intellectually superior but emotionally immature, so to speak. Now it's the opposite. We've
Now you sound like
emotionally matured, but we've lost all of our intellectual. Does that make any sense?
That reminds me of that video from Spirit Sciences.
Kind of, a little.
They talk about how the Martians came down here and they were brilliant, but they did not understand the concept of emotion. They couldn't speak the language of intent, and we tried to teach them the language of intent. They couldn't learn it. So we started to learn their language, you know, and just speak in terms of mathematics and science, and we lost our ability to speak the language of intent. That's according to Spirit Sciences.
Yeah, Spirit Sciences, that parallels the Anunnaki like a comic book.
Right.
Basically. That's about what that is. Because if you read the cuneiform, it walks you through it, but gives you the details of exactly how that fucking came to pass.
But I'm just saying, like, the last time that us humans were at, like, that God level intellectually, we were emotionally immature. We didn't understand how to care for one another. We destroyed, you didn't share our powers, we got greedy. But now we're emotionally maturing, and we're gaining our intellectual superiority back. It's hard to say because this has never happened in history. This is the big moment.
Since we wrote it on those walls.
Yeah.
Because we knew back in the day we were children of a very fucking vast creation. And we're learning that again today. In basic, we're Creator's children. We're put here to protect the rest of his creation. We better start learning who we are.
I think no matter what we do, we're still stuck in Plato's cave. You're still going to have some people that are not going to look at what's outside of the cave. You're going to have people who will not go back into the cave. And you're going to have people that hover right there between the cave and the real world. And you're always going to have that.
Exactly.
We just need to start
that always.
The truth.
After we have this frequency roll through the solar system, there's only going to be one type here. And that's the ones that are in true connection with creation.
Thanks for the goosebumps.
Yeah, right.
Well, things are going to change. Yeah.
They're already changing.
I can guarantee you the frequencies change. When we have three suns converge and start singing that chord of creation, that, I don't know, it starts getting sent through the fucking universe or the solar system by a fucking big bang. That's a lot of force that we ain't dealt with. And
2 hours ago was a 4.7 in Svalbard.
Seems like
top of our planet just had a 4.7.
Top.
Yeah,
Well, that'll move down and grow bigger.
Well, it's top of the planet. That means it'll go back through the planet, come back out.
Come back out the bottom. Probably southern hemisphere in shape with a 6. 5.5, 5.6.
We got some weird vortices on Null School. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that stuff is just crazy. I
know. It's supposed to have opposing swirls in this fucking same hemisphere. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's driving some of these winds and all kinds of shit. It's just crazy. And usually when you have an opposing swirl, that's usually where the center point of a lot of the quakes start to happen. I've been using that in the plots in ISWA for years now, and it just keeps getting more and more accurate. The more you look at it, the more people, I mean, how many people can look at this shit and do the same thing I've been doing? It ain't really rocket science at all. It's just how much are we inducing? How long we've been inducing? You know, how much crunch we got going on? What's the trimmers looking like? You know, and you start going with where's my swirls? All right, well, that's where on my planet they're going to hit. And it tends to be pretty fucking accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty damn accurate.
Well, I guess the troll gave up.
Oh, of course they did. They knew
I'm
they
hoping
were.
he's out there looking for his leg.
Yeah, $3,000 is a lot. Come on, give him a chance.
I keep raising the ante. They keep not bringing the link and just working really hard to try to convince me. Look, all you need to do is bring one link, man. You're paid.
I don't think that the East Coast is going to be hit by a tsunami if you're talking about from the La Palma volcano.
It's a little bit of hype.
I don't think that's going to happen. It has happened in history. We know that there was a tsunami from a massive landslide on one of those islands, but
It could have also been.
I mean, it could happen.
Last time this shit happened, Polly, and they're just making excuses for why there's signs of inundation on the East Coast. Because it makes sense. I mean, every time we go through one of these flip-flops,
Be right back.
the East Coast is going to get inundated.
Oh,
So-
yeah, that's how the Appalachian Mountains formed, was tectonic plate movement.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like, you know, COVID's the problem with beef supply right now. Kind of excuse to me. Because COVID ain't the problem with the beef supply. You know, I'm just saying.
Competence.
Anything I hear is like, oh yeah, it was a landslide that caused that huge, massive inundation, a 100-foot wave all the way across from. And I get to thinking to myself, really, it wasn't.
That would be a side effect.
Doesn't matter. It's facing behind me up.
Yeah, so we got a good show going on. Hope everyone's having fun. I know we are.
I haven't been really paying attention to the chat log because I've been enthralled in the video and watching myself, you know, making sure I don't look too silly. But I'll get better at streaming. This is just the first one, so.
Well, y'all were worried about what are we going to talk about? I'm like, it'll be just fine.
Okay, so here's an interesting thought I had. Here's an interesting thought I had earlier. It may not cure people, but you could always strengthen the immune system using probiotics from yogurts and supplements of that sort, and educate yourself on edible mushrooms. Edible mushrooms are some of the most strongest, potent antibiotic things on this planet.
Yeah, food of gods.
I was talking to a coworker about that.
And,
You know, that
and in case of starvation, mushrooms grow literally fucking everywhere.
Yeah, but there's a lot of poisonous ones out there. Know what you're picking.
Educate yourselves. Educate.
Definitely.
Get an app on your phone if you're that lazy.
Figure out how to spore out your game.
buy it, that would be better because when electricity goes,
They make an app for that.
apps don't help you. Get a book.
Well, I think it's pretty undeniable now. Actually, this whole fucking thing. If you look around, I mean, look at what all we found. The corn's dead. The fucking. I even had a troll over there. Maybe he was a farmer. I don't know. But he's all like, "Well, my corn didn't die," and I'm like, "Well, that's good." So I've already said some corns didn't die. Some of these sweet corns and the perennial seeds are doing okay. But if you look at the grain,
Kentucky, and they do corn and
There.
soy and sunflower up here, and all those crops did good up here.
Good. They've been
What
doing
area?
shit down here.
What
And I just went to the USDA corn harvest numbers, and we're down 97,000 bushels.
Nebraska didn't do good, I know that.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's before harvest, but we're down 97,000 bushels, and they're pushing the projections down from last year. Last year was fucking detrimental.
And the corn here, that's feed corn for cattle. It's not corn that we consume.
Yeah.
It's mostly feed corn.
What that farmer didn't tell you is the government paid him double instead of taking his crop to market. He destroyed it himself.
To destroy the shit. I know.
Yeah.
I saw that going on too.
Like what?
Some of them are saying they're going to pay 6 times as much as they would if they had sent it to market.
What? Wow, but
well, I said they're going to make it worse, didn't they? I said they're going to intentionally make this worse.
Yeah.
They really. This is a very survivable fucking thing. They're literally making it worse than what it has to be in every aspect.
Well, because there's less than 600 of them, and there's 7 billion of the slaves they're trying to control.
Yeah.
They need those numbers way down. And once they have those numbers way down, then they can say, okay, we have food and clean water and medicine. Y'all come, we'll help you. Come back to us.
What do you mean the corn ain't down? Wait a minute, Larry Dent. All right, look, Larry Lent here. He said he's the one. Look, 97,000 bushels down from last year's projections. Last year was detrimental to the food stock. They're blaming fucking hackers for fucking grains that you can actually do the goddamn numbers and find out we didn't have enough. They humanitarianly have killed the fucking chickens and the beef. And projections are lower this year. You're telling me it didn't die? I've got fucking video proof of me driving by these fucking dead fields for hundreds of miles. I live in the middle of fucking cow town, and I see these fucking cows are in the field eating fucking bramble bush.
2020, our fields were 2 foot tall too.
Of the world. Okay, Texas is the beef capital of the world. I'm telling you right now, you can go to HEB or Walmart, and if you're from Texas, you know what HEB is. You go down there and you read the package of fucking hamburger meat, and it will tell you fresh frozen in China. In the beef capital of the world, you're getting your meat processed through China.
China beef.
Now, why would that be? Why would we send all of our foods to be processed in another country?
That's disturbing, actually. What if it's like, strange?
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
No.
I guess
I didn't realize you could
check in the Chinese grains. Theirs are devastated. They're telling us everything is gone, flooding in China, fucking exclusive. Any army would, China grain production, it's gone. There is no fucking grain.
Larry Lent.
Because I see all these official things, and then I see Larry Lent saying, no, that's not true.
They imported a bunch from India, and they imported a bunch from the States, I thought. They were asking for rice aid, weren't they? Like the Chinese were, like the end of December, the end of 2020. They're asking for imports.
The middle guys are having problems too, Larry. And I live right over here, right there. I can see the grain tower of the fucking disbursement depot over here, fucking grains. And I also see the lines lining up all the fucking time waiting on the grains when they come in, and then they're gone.
I know I like to get like the Smucker's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to take to lunch, for work. And it's taken me 2 months to be able to get them, finally buy a box of those. Because Walmart hasn't had them. And I've searched many Walmarts while on my route. And they finally just got them back in stock.
The little town I'm in, went 3 weeks without milk or bottled water. 3 weeks. No milk, no bottled water.
I'm talking to the milkman.
You had to drive 2 towns away if you wanted to get milk.
I haven't
So
seen
if you
milk
tell me there's
shortages,
not
but
a
I know the
problem, man,
prices are
you're
rising.
fully indoctrinated and delusional.
Nice one, William. Hundreds of earthquakes daily are also caused by Russian hackers.
Russian hackers causing earthquakes daily to rise. I love that shit. But I mean, look, our Family Dollar's been out of fucking milk for almost 2 weeks. The milkman came in the other day. I fucking said, "Hey man, mind if he had them all stacked up in his little milk crates and shit. It wasn't even in the fridge yet. I asked him, I said, "Hey man, you mind if I grab a couple of these?" He's like, "Yeah, man, go ahead. We got a little bit of milk shortage." I said, "I know. You've been out of fucking milk for a whole week. So where you been?" I said, "You had to kill your cows, didn't you?" I said, "You ain't got no grain." He goes, if people only knew, I'm not allowed to talk about it. Milkman on a fucking silence order. He ain't allowed to talk about it," he said. That was the first thing come out of his mouth. He said, "I ain't allowed to talk about it. If people understood why we don't have milk, they'd be freaking out. They had to kill the goddamn dairy cows because there ain't no fucking grain to feed them. Period."
I don't see how people are missing that. I don't see how they're freaking missing it.
It's even been announced that Tyson is humanitarianly killing the chickens because they don't have grain.
They're dumping milk. We know that farmers have been paid to dump milk, slaughter cows, slaughter chicken, plow their crops under. It's all over the news.
It's on the mainstream news. So I'm not sure what this guy's talking about. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and they don't really want to bring up the actual shortages and what the numbers are saying on broad mainstream because it would cause mass panic to broadcast the numbers.
Well, that's why they had to have COVID in place that day because I knew I ran the grain numbers. I could tell from running the grain numbers when the meat market would start to reflect the grain market. And it did. Wendy's stopped selling beef. They've been shoveling it around. They took control of the fucking supply chain exactly like they said they would. So they could fucking shuffle around the fucking beef and the fucking shit that they're short on.
They're saying
And the
that
price is doubled.
The food that's on the ships at port, it's going bad sitting at port. It's expiring as it's sitting there because it's been there for so long, months already in some cases. And they're not blaming it on the pandemic. They're blaming it on you because you refuse to go back to work. You refuse to get vaccinated and go back to work. It's your fault that all that food is stuck out there at the ports.
Even though fucking bears coming out talking about.
You pay the farmers to plow their fields under, slaughter their cattle, dump their milk, and you're still going to sit there and tell us it's our fault because we don't want to go to work.
No, I just gave you links, Larry, from the USDA and the fucking Crop Reporting Bureau, the Farm Bureau. What else do you need, you fuck? What else do you fucking need? You obviously, you can just suck a fucking dick. How's that? I'll be real nice to you. Suck my dick. Fuck you. Done talking to your ass. You've got words. I've got proof of numbers and links that keep track of this shit. But you keep talking like you know something. I keep sending you fucking verified fucking links. Fuck
Larry,
you.
Larry, are you aware that BlackRock owns every news outlet in the world? All of them? This is not an American problem. This is not just happening in the United States. This is global. This is a global opioid crisis, global homeless crisis, global pandemic,
I agree with you.
global starvation. This is not just the U.S.
Global death.
It's everywhere on the planet. And if you want to know who's behind it all, go take a look at BlackRock.
Thank you, Pop. Yeah, it's not just the American grains. It's the world. It's the global grains that have been changed to these GMO products, mostly Monsanto. And they're susceptible to high light at night, period. You can go look at, I made a video with the information on Monsanto from Monsanto about their fucking Monsanto fucking GMO. There's
No,
one reason it's dying in the world uniformly, because it's too bright at night. Period.
if the whole world, if everyone just in America knew that Nestle Corporation has been sanctioned over 90 times for child slave labor, child slave labor, would you stop eating chocolate if you knew that Nestle was doing that every single day? Every candy bar you eat, you got through child slave labor by a company that is based right here in the United States. You might want to look at companies instead of blaming it on farmers who took $1. Because all these companies are owned by those same less than 600 people.
I mean, look, I've lived out here for years. I'm 53 fucking years old. I have never seen corn die uniformly for fucking hundreds of miles. I can attest for hundreds of fucking miles of dead corn. And so can everybody in this fucking chat that's been talking about the fucking dead corn in different countries. We've provided the fucking grain numbers are down 97 fucking thousand fucking bushels from last year, which was detrimental to the food chain. Where do you think things are better?
It's that massive something in the north sky emitting that blue light that's not allowing the plants to sleep.
Damn straight. And you can see that too. You know, all these things are evident with your own eye. So if you don't want to look, that's your prerogative, man. I don't give a fuck. I've got my rice and beans on. I've got water stored. I'm good. I know what's coming. I used to tell these motherfuckers how to think. You have sat on your goddamn couch for fucking however long you're fucking old, and I'm fucking tired of hearing it.
You say that all the time. I used to tell these people how to think. Epic fail, Eric. Epic fail. They think wrong. They don't think correctly. I mean,
I'm thinking like these fucking rattlesnakes that bite their tails off. I used to advise the fuckers.
Now they can't think it up.
I used to advise them. I know how they think.
Well, that's what it has to come down to is you can't be a victim. You have to choose not to be a victim. And that means you have to be, or at least acknowledge that you're capable of being, if not worse, if you need to be, than they are.
You need to read between the lying. I mean,
read between the lines.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're giving you something, they're taking something in return. Promise.
Well, you know, these cats that sit up here and they've watched the mainstream news. They get on their social media. They get on their, who knows, maybe he's been on his tractor for 20 years and hasn't looked at anything. I don't know. But I've left that kind of influential fucking position to fucking warn you people that this exact scenario is fucking coming. And I've been right ever since. So I don't know what you're trying to tell me, dude. Fuck. You know what fucking pisses me off the most? They told me exactly what was fucking going to happen. I told them to shove their fucking bunker in their ass. They didn't so much as change a goddamn thing because they knew I'd never get the word out enough to affect anything. Because I'm not going to be on C-SPAN. Period.
Right.
And I've sat here and watched this happen. And I get jackasses coming up here telling me how I'm fucking wrong. And I'd like to fucking see anything other than your goddamn mouth running to show me how I'm fucking wrong. Because I provide evidence. I provide proof. I don't just fucking sit here and throw my words around. I'll bring you to the USDA fucking harvest reports. Because that's where I get my information.
Jelly, Australia is going to be just fine. You're only going to push those people so far before they revert back to their native ways.
I agree.
Well, there are many other countries.
I think in all the continents on the planet, Australia is going to fare best. And I keep telling everybody on New Zealand, get over on that other rock.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, Jelly. Had to drain the tank. Yes, Bayer bought Montesano. That way, everything Montesano did they could no longer be sued for it. That's why one reason why they sold. Because Montesano no longer technically exists, so it can't be sued.
And we know that they're paying people to discredit the information because they want the slaves to keep working. They don't want.
Look at the billionaires Polly and John saved me from. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
We know firsthand. We've seen it in action for years now.
No, I really think I've always considered myself a minimalist. Now, I raised 5 kids, you know, and if you have kids, you know how many pairs of pants, shirts, shoes, you just for one. Now, you multiply that times 5, and you have a house full of freaking laundry every week.
I still have laundry every week, and only 3 people here.
Once my kids were all grown and moving out, I'm like, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. I'm down to camping equipment and tools, you know, some computers and a couple of books. They can't buy me, you know. I don't want what they're selling. I don't need that. I don't need, you know, a 5-bedroom mansion and freaking all that frills and excitement. I don't need that. I don't want that. And I damn sure don't want to be famous because that sounds like an awful lot of work to me. So whatever they're offering, I don't want. So they're like, well, what do you mean you don't want anything? Well, we got to stop you somehow.
We got to stop you somehow.
Man, they've tried. They have tried. They've tried to shut me up. My husband was correct when he said there's only one way to shut her up. And I'll just let you guess.
Make the mouth busy. Give her some food.
No cheeseburger, John.
Or a cigarette.
You are very funny.
I understand you travel the country, Larry, but you know, I'm running the numbers. And I ran the numbers last year and the year before. And by running those numbers, I came to the exact date 180 nations went into lockdown over the common cold because 2 weeks later, the beef fucking market was going to reflect the fucking deficiencies in our grain market.
No, Larry,
I knew that. Wasn't guessing. I was not guessing, Larry. I was not going off of me driving by dead fields of fucking corn. That did prompt me to fucking look, though.
Well, I'll give you that, Larry, because I'm in the east right now, and I was in central, and man, Texas is always just, you know, it's Texas, it's looking brown. But I know so many farmers in Texas that were appalled at the fact that they had to slaughter their cattle and dump their eggs and kill their chickens and dump their milk. They were appalled by it, but they were getting paid a lot of money to do it. But out east, you're right. They got crops in the ground. It's flourishing out here. Now, I don't know what it looks like on the other side of the mountains where the coastline is, but on the inside of the mountains, they got crops growing here.
Yeah.
Well, for me, the crops do okay because I'm where you're talking about. The crops do okay, but when talking to people like the realtor that was working with the guy that owned the building I lived in, he told me that his tomatoes in his garden didn't produce a single tomato last year. And then this year he was still having issues with a different plant. So
yeah, and they had mass recalls too because the seeds were sprouting inside the vegetables last year.
Right, those GMO foods, man. Why? First of all, I want to know why Monsanto. If you are watching this, please answer. Why would you genetically modify a food to not reproduce from its own seed? Why would you modify a food to not reproduce it? I don't understand that. You want food to reproduce. So the whole point of causing it to not reproduce is just to control the food supply. And you can't go in and start modifying DNA of any damn thing and not expect there to be consequences. So
Good.
people are eating those seeds, and those seeds are fermenting inside of their own seeds, and there's something wrong with that genetically. So I suggest you all just stop with the GMO foods and go back to your heirloom tomatoes, your heirloom plants.
Heirloom seeds.
I
They're doing
wouldn't be
better. The heirloom seeds are fucking growing better anyways.
Yeah, they are.
You know, that's what I keep saying, that these GMOs, they GMO'd them on purpose to fail at this point in time. That's fucking obvious. Because these people, the family, for God's sake, do you think they forgot this happened and this is going to happen again and again and again? No, they've been playing this for a fucking long time. And I'll tell you what, Monsanto was a purposeful operation because of exactly great timing to bring us to this point in where everybody's inundated with their GMO crops.
Right.
And they're failing. They knew this was coming.
Right. They absolutely did.
And then you have companies like, God, who did Teflon? I'm brain fart on the name. The major company who invented Teflon.
That shit ain't good for you.
Well, right. I mean, that company has poisoned every living organism on this planet.
Was that DuPont?
DuPont, yes. DuPont has poisoned every living organism on this planet with Teflon. And their chains.
Oh, no. Agent Orange. Okay. We still use that shit. We still use that in plant weed killers and fertilizers and insecticides. We are still using that knowing what it does. They just had that big lawsuit from Dow Chemical Company for all the people who were exposed to insecticides that may contain whatever the hell. I can't think of what it was, but we're still using it to this day. They just had this major lawsuit, and we're still using it. You know, all that happened in Vietnam, and we're still using it. Nothing's changed but the name of the product. Yeah. It's the same company, same exact product, same exact formula.
Right, I mean, like I said with DuPont, I mean, with Teflon, it's in our pans. You buy a cheap pan and you damage that Teflon, and now you are now poisoning yourself and your kids. We went out and bought pans that specifically had no BFOAs and whatever the other type is, but you got to spend $400 or $500 on a pan set that won't poison yourself.
You get yourself some fucking old stainless steel fucking cookery, man.
But you're gonna pay a high price.
Now if you go to the dollar store, or I mean the thrift store, whatever.
Oh
yeah. I got a good percolator for $3.
So we're throwing thousands of dollars and buying.
I'm a cheap bastard. That's why I got thousands of dollars. I don't buy my spinning wheels. I just work and save my money a little bit here and there. That's how I get my rice and beans on.
You know what the main pollutant in your air and water is? I'll let you guess for a second. You got two main pollutants in your environment. And you're not going to like what they are at all because, I mean, you could think they're chemicals or this, or that. You're going to be surprised.
Fecal matter.
But I'm going to tell you what the two main pollutants in your environment are. Number one is tire particles. Number two is literally human feces from the way our processing plants work. That's the two main pollutants right there.
I'm fucking kidding. Fecal.
So much for global warming. You could shut down every factory on the planet and you still have tire particles and human feces in your environment.
It's fucking cow farts.
Lots of methane. Lots of natural gases.
Well, there's natural fecal matter that floats around with those cow parts too. It's fucking amazing. You ever driven by a fucking feedlot? Jesus Christ, the dust. It's rough.
That's exactly why they outlawed hemp. They made hemp illegal because it is so versatile and pretty much clean.
Yeah,
It cleans the air
instead of hemp. Paper, yeah.
It cleans that fecal matter.
Yeah. Toilet paper. Hemp can pretty much do it all.
Well, thanks, Derek. We have it back.
What? I didn't do nothing.
Hemp. Hemp in North Carolina.
Yeah, actually, I did that, didn't I? That I looked at that as a big failure for years. I went there with the intent of legalizing medical marijuana. It's still a fucking void state to me, man. So yeah, I did. I kicked myself in the ass for legalizing hemp for the longest time. I was kind of upset, but I thought about it for a minute. I was like, it's actually not such a great big failure. I did do some good. CBD is a great fucking medication, So yeah, I've never been big on recreational pot. Can't say it's how it's worse fucking alcohol. It's better for you than it's the best damn thing you can do to your body. Everybody has a medical reason to use this stuff. It's called, how much vitamin C do you need to keep away scurvy? Well, it's the same fucking deal with this. How much vitamin in marijuanas do you need to keep away fucking cancer? It used to be our food. We didn't get sick like this shit we've been getting for the last 100 years.
What are you doing, Dad?
I am working out how to get my desktop on Zoom because I don't remember my password.
I'm fixing
and apparently what it is and what the problem is my browser's blocking Google login.
The internet's not doing us any favors. I posted up a fucking meme today that showed everybody in the railroad car sitting there reading their newspapers. Same thing, sitting there reading their phone.
Yeah, just the media's changed. Yeah, I was talking.
And I'm listening to everybody else.
Go ahead. I was talking to a coworker who's from Africa, and he was telling me how where he's from, everything is more homeopathic. Where he's in America, he's like, everything is all pharmaceuticals. He sees that it's not, that the interest is not to heal, it's just to keep people, treat the symptoms.
You know what? I learned the other day that they do not sell Ritz crackers in the UK because of the type of oil we use. It's not even digestible. It's cottonseed oil.
Palm kernel, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even digestible for humans. We should not be eating. Our FDA approves it, but other countries are like, hell no.
Hell no.
I know, like, chocolate's better in the UK because I had a friend who goes, a house sit for him. He's from the UK and he brings home chocolate. It's much better.
Oh yeah.
Some of their chocolate, yeah.
I can't buy
Hershey's
chocolate, but I don't buy any other generic or Nestle. I just can't do it.
I gotta tell you, New Zealand chocolate's good.
I mean, I've noticed that chocolate has gone downhill, over the years. Chocolate used to be good here, but now it's more.
That's because they use palm kernel.
Because they're trying to do everything cheaper to make more profit. But
what are you eating there?
Steady. I got a water cake.
I guess he cracked the whip on Shane and said, "Make me dinner."
I've been giving him little lessons the whole time. He'd come in and be like,
dinner.
my boy cooked this. Yeah. I went in just to help him. He was already done.
Can you loan him out to me to make some spaghetti?
I may.
This is Curly Daniel. She will not get out of my lap and get mad, fuss at me. My leg was falling asleep.
Well, he's 17. I said you got to learn how to cook something other than pizza bites.
I like ramen noodles.
Oh.
So why? But I gotta stay away from them.
I know,
cannot
it's horrible.
stand to
Horrible.
smell them.
Horrible.
I hate them. I hate them so
I
much.
used to live on
I'm
it.
like, no, you want to cook that? You better take it out of this house and cook it.
I get the Korean ramen noodles because I trust their ramen noodles over everybody else's.
That's good stuff.
Well, you know, like those Koreans have that certain like spice that they use. I like that stuff. It tastes so good to me. Whatever.
The spice is good, but the noodles, yeah, I could do without.
Yeah.
I like whole wheat.
Yeah, I've been trying to
If
get away from
I could make my own
crappy
noodles, I
food.
would.
The ramen noodles is so good. Chicken flavor.
What's up, Smee? How you doing?
Make it in the microwave. You can make it on the stove.
My kid makes ramen noodles with chili and cheese. They call it dog food. So they're like, "What's for dinner?" Dog food.
I like my spaghetti.
Schmiegel.
Yeah.
Schmiegel's in the house.
Stick with spaghetti.
You did a good job.
Well, you gotta share, Eric. Since you're here, you gotta share.
Wad of meat.
Well, I guess we're not gonna break the 48 viewer barrier.
Oh no.
It's sitting at 48. Even like new people are coming in and talking, it's still at 48.
I couldn't community post it. Well, I suppose I could, but I'd have to change my whole.
If you're here, you gotta
Fucking
share.
Google's got me fucked up. If I'm on my YouTube account, they make me turn on to the Google Meet. And I haven't had the.
Facebook.
Well, I guess we're not gonna break the 48 viewer barrier.
I don't know how to switch over my information on accounts either.
That's all right. The people will be able to watch later. I've got to download my videos, recent videos, and get them saved, but I got to get this other computer up and running. I guess I could put my backup drive on my main computer for now.
I posted to the group.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't even think about that.
I'm gonna send it to them in chat too. Where is there we go.
So it's 5 days. I got 5 days left. On my.
You got 5 left.
Yeah, I'm still grounded for 5 more days over there on the fish channel.
We even got Reeble in the house.
Regal, get put out. Oh, yeah. What's up, bro?
Look, I'm here. I just figured out how to chat.
All the games good.
How is everybody?
I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I have an addition to my garage. That one right there. So I bought the Beamer, the R1100 RT for $200. I got that one for free.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's the deal right there.
But it cost $1,800, but I didn't have to put it up. My brother did. He wants, he used to have one just like it, traded it in, and then we rode it last weekend. It was my brother's daughter's bike. And he's like, man, I regret getting rid of it. So I'm going to buy this one. Where you get to insure it and register it in your name and ride it as much as you want. But when I'm in town, he comes once a year around October. And he's like, it'll be my bike. Because this time we went out riding as a group. He rented a bike this time. So we went out riding around and we ended up getting that bike. So I finally got the sport bike I wanted. I've always wanted one.
I don't know what you're talking about that starts with an R. And yeah, you spelled ayahuasca wrong, but.
Regal, my kid makes good spaghetti. This is his first time try. Yes, that is Polly. Tinfoil.
What's up?
Yeah, so the new people that just showed up, obviously everyone knows Eric, and some people know me, but we have Pollyanna Tardif, and we have
Everybody knows Daniel, you, John.
Daniel Tybalt. I'm sorry if I say that wrong, Daniel.
It's all good.
But they
most people do.
We all hang out on Eric's channel and chat. Figured Daniel came up with a great idea. Let's do a four-person live stream. So here we are doing it.
You just chill and chat with everybody and have a
Yep, that's really Polly. That's really Daniel. We're having a big old
fake me, y'all.
Today. I mean, I've been excited all week to sit and chill with these cats.
Oh, you're funny.
Oh, I talk to Polly every day. She's a good friend of mine.
Right.
I don't get to see her every day, though. Beautiful lady, isn't she?
He sends me nipple shots, y'all. He is lying. I get nipple pics like every other day.
Must have a nipple fetish or something.
She does.
He wants to make sure you know. He knows you like it.
Well, I know she likes them.
It's more appropriate than a naked mole.
Trying to keep her updated, because I got such a boyish chest. I'm trying to keep her updated on the hairs I'm growing.
He's got 3, I counted.
Well, the older you get, the thicker it gets, I guess.
I only had 2.
Hello, guys.
Yes, Polly's highly
Well, Polly Kessler was saying scroll up to the comment before. Maybe that'll help.
So this is the kind of stupidity I deal with from my family. I say water towers to my brother, and he's like, what, waste disposal units? I'm like, no, idiot. You're not, why would you put waste in your drinking supply? I just want to hit people.
Yeah, Daniel, that never goes away. You just find better ways to curb that feeling. You just want to grab them by the neck.
Yeah, but where in the idea of water lifts, a water tower, and a water wheel do you get waste?
I know. I understand your frustration.
Waste.
I didn't include that in the system. I guess we could add a broiler and, refresh it, but I don't think anyone wants to drink that.
I've been on some big wastewater plants, like Washington, D.C.'s wastewater plant.
I guess we could turn on the pyramid and use our waste, but I still don't think anyone wants to drink that.
Have
You
a good
know, the
night, sweetie.
pharmaceuticals that
Good
are in
seeing
our
you.
water supply, that can't be filtered out. It
No.
doesn't matter what you do to that water, you're not getting the pharmaceuticals out of it. They are bonded.
So here's a question. Does waste product from our people have any beneficial use?
I know they avoid using it. But you're not
Does
allowed to
poop and
spray it.
pee have any beneficial use?
Yeah, well,
I
okay.
would think
Matter
so.
is neither created nor destroyed, it is only transformed. It only changes. So, yes, after it breaks down, you're left with just the basic elements that will be recycled back into the environment. So, yeah, at some point. That does not mean go eat a handful of shit, people.
Use organisms to eat it.
Not do
You will
that.
not stay healthy eating turd.
Nope.
No.
That is not the way to go.
But yeah, it's funny. Me and John were talking one night about ISWA and why fuel lines closed. And I said, well, doing the math, as big as that fucking thing is, if it's really back there, John, it's got to be visible. I don't know. How long was I gone, John? Maybe a minute. I came back in talking about, you need to go look at your north sky. And that was about, what, a year ago or so?
Well, probably sometime around when What's-His-Face put out that photo.
Bobby.
I mean, I've personally never seen it. I always have too much light pollution.
Yeah. Well, I go out all the time looking, and I still don't see no damn stars.
Oh.
And neither does anybody else when they look. And they take the picture and they get these fucking crazy looking things in our sky. They're there.
You're in Colorado, right?
Yep.
Looking north? Okay, so when I look north, I see the Big Dipper and I see, other things, but I don't see that spot that you're talking about. I see a spot, but it's further north, and it's the only way you
on the horizon.
If light bends around Earth, which is why it has to be a globe.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we are. I'm just saying, exactly, right there on the horizon. You can see it on the horizon, and it comes up. It's not quite as tall as the Dipper. And another thing, now that you mentioned the Dipper, holy fuck, has it taken a shift in the last couple of days?
Yes, it has.
The moon, everything has. The moon has too. I mean, it's rising differently.
Yeah.
Still rolling.
Someone said that they didn't see the moon for 2 days in Illinois. It was there last night. I promise it was there. I think.
Yeah. Now
it was behind all the cloud here.
I see the moon every night. I mean, it was cloudy here for a good almost 2 weeks, where I never saw the sun.
Rained,
I never saw stars.
It rained all day.
It wasn't even raining here. It was just cloudy every day. And finally cleared out. Now I got a compass again, so now I can start tracking wobble. I got a great spot here at the house where I can catch the sunset every night. And just open the blinds of my house and see. Well, you saw in the video. I got a great
mark yourself a
here.
spot. A good way to observe that is mark yourself a spot and stand there every night, watch the sunrise or sunset, and get yourself a landmark. And yeah, you can see it vary in huge amounts.
Yeah, a spot, in the mountains or. Because a compass is good. Well, people say, oh, well, the magnetic field changes. Well, sure. But I don't think it changes to where we have a 10-degree difference, in setting location, from day to day. But yeah, a landmark, a tree or a mountain, that's a more definitive way.
Have any of you given the Box Saga a listen? Just for entertainment purposes?
The Box Saga?
The Box Saga, yes. It's Finnish mythology, but it's interesting because it uses titles like Ra, the White House, the Man in the White House, and it's the hierarchy of Finnish mythology referring to kings, but it talks of days when the top of the planet had 24 hours of light, and that was hell. Which is an interesting point, because that means our planet was once balanced, and that's where the king reigned, because there was 24 hours of light. And you could watch the pole star. That's why he sat there, because he was in connection with whoever.
That may have very well been when we were on Raw too.
It could have been, yeah, definitely. I just give the Bach Saga a listen to when you guys have a chance. It's just interesting as it refers to different stuff. As
Larry is back in chat, and he says that he's watching the moon right now, and it's not even where it was last night, and it's very odd. The Big Dipper is very odd. Yeah, Larry, keep watching. Watch that moon roll.
Gina says that we might be getting near a black hole, and that's why things are becoming distorted. I was like, that's a good theory, but we'll throw it out there.
Well, here's the thing. I've already covered that. And we've already been seeing little mini black holes. Anytime two magnets don't come together, you know that.
Yeah,
create a little one.
Yeah.
We're gonna have multiple black holes in this solar system before it's over. You bet. I agree. I agree. And what does that entail? Time dilation? I don't know. I don't know. You know, but I mean, it's got to be some heavy duty shit. We'll see together.
Looks like we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
No fear.
We're all gonna find out.
You can't stop it. Can't stop nothing.
Cheers, my brother.
Yeah. Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is what it is. And you know, the whole thing is we found out what it is. But and it's very terrifying. If we didn't find out the other half is what it is, what we are. It would be utterly terrifying to be in this situation. I understand why people don't want to fucking accept it. But you know what? That's why I started giving people their first. Can you feel that? I can feel it. You can feel it. Hold it. Feel it. It gets warm. It's that pull. You pull apart. It's fucking amazing. It's your fucking life. That's where your goosebumps come from. That's your soul. And once you have that, what's going to shake you? You're actually created for this moment. There's no other reason for you to be here. So what the fuck are you worried about? We got a job to do, right? I mean, that's where my mind is now. I was fucking telling people, look, you got a bottle of water and get yourself some rice because we all going to die. But you don't want to die of thirst or fucking starvation, do you? You don't want to watch your kid die of a fucking 3-day horribly painful death of fucking dying of thirst, do you? That was my only message. That's why nobody gave a fuck for fucking years. And I understand that. Now we found what Jesus was fucking talking about. He was a physicist. I got to give it to him. Motherfucker was right on with your frequency and it just a little twist of fucking framework, and we understand exactly the words he's saying. You know, and it makes total sense in physics. That isn't coincidence that all this stuff just fucking fell into our laps like this shit. Who the fuck are any one of us, really, in the big picture? You'd think other people would have this knowledge. We got knowledge that they don't have. And it's obviously for a reason. It wasn't given to us for just to fucking get shits and giggles.
I wouldn't say that they don't have the knowledge. I would say they overlooked it because they didn't understand the empathic.
Yeah, it's very evident. They didn't.
Interconnectedness.
Mm-hmm.
Interconnectedness is the only word to describe it.
Well, the reason being, look, it gives us their history before it starts with ours. They killed themselves down to what, 6 people? Well, no wonder their magnetosphere is so weak. We've got indigenous tribes that are still fucking pretty like on the magnet. You know what I mean? They don't. They forgot they were their steward. There isn't even a trace on their planet left that tells them they're a steward. So they came here and saw us doing all this shit and was scared the fuck out of them. So that's what I read. But they forgot that they're the same fucking, they're created the same reason we were created. And they forgot that. They've been afraid of this big cleansing time for too long.
See, I came to the conclusion, like, through a bunch of other theories, that, like, we potentially seed other aliens. That's why we have unlimited potential. Because they could change us through environmental means, through whatever they do, through whatever genetic means. They created us through their DNA. They seeded us. We seed them. You get it? Kind of like...
Yeah. Well, they even said that in a cuneiform. They are us, we're them.
I mean, you said it. Josh Reed said it.
Bro. You brought it. You got it. I agree. We're them. They are us. There are some, of course, the bloodlines are fucking more.
Yeah,
pure.
of course there's proliferation through DNA, but there's always recurrences of DNA pattern.
Yeah.
It's funny how they tell us all that, and I hate to say it, but they tell us all that in like movies. In music.
That's literally the quantum, the quantity of quantifiable, quantum effective bullshit. The super glue, so to speak.
Well, tinfoil, I've covered CERN also, and that's more of a frequency thing that they try to shield themselves with. That's not really what they say it is. Big surprise, right? It's why they're all over the world. It's not just CERN, it's particle accelerators. And if you look at particle accelerators, they're fucking everywhere.
See, I think what they were trying to do with the particle accelerators was to extend the field by spinning them, but they're just moving the particle faster and faster and faster. They're not spinning the field.
They're trying to protect themselves from this frequency that's coming.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm looking at their particle accelerators, exactly. And it's not working. I agree.
Right. It's like thinking that you can genetically modify the food supply.
And I've tried to warn them that they will be fucking
that field either. You know, you just can't do it. They've tried to manipulate it. It's just not going to work.
Well, it's because they've overlooked
that I am no expert and I give no opinion. I am just stating a speculative fact.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Daniel, and you said it before you even said that. They overlooked some simple shit.
Oh, definitely. The fundamentals.
They didn't understand it. And that's why we're fucking... You and I and Polly and John can sit here, and half people in chat can sit here and solve every fucking problem with humanity. And they're afraid of us.
That's why they're afraid of us, because we understand it.
Yeah.
And they don't. We see it.
And it's not that hard. They just got to settle down a minute. Think about it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it, just like everybody else. Because we are them, they are us.
Because they're
basically
and
your indoctrination
is off,
is
so therefore the results are off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And Daniel picked it out just making an observation. And now how does he do that? He's one of the most brilliant people on the fucking planet today.
No, I'm just a nobody. Don't put me in that position.
That doesn't mean that you're somebody. That just means that you're a fucking very smart man. You pay attention. You have good retention. You understand.
I have been emotionally stressed the last few years beyond what normal people would snap under the pressure. There had to have been something else.
Yeah, I understand.
That's the only way to describe it.
Well, see, and look at each one of
created a diamond.
Sitting here in the circle, we've all been through things and still going through them. All of us, every one of us, through things that have pushed us beyond normal people. You see people dropping out over shit like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Or less. You know, and you got to understand, you've got something in you And everything.
I back down every time somebody said a cuss word at me. I'd be backing down 15 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm harder on myself than anyone could ever be.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I see that. And myself, I'm my worst critic.
So like just as an example, when Eric yells at me, I get all mad because like I feel like I'm mad at him, but I'm really just mad at myself because it's like, damn, Dan, you need to shut up.
I just want you to go. Well, now the thing is, I can tell you haven't seen all the videos.
Not all of them.
Because you're still on some of these hypothetical things that we've been past. And I want you where I want you to know everything I do because I know you already know more than I do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I remember encouraging
I get
Daniel
it.
to say, Daniel,
I'm catching up slowly. It's just
I know.
there is so much lectures and shit. Trust me, Dad.
There is a truckload of information on these rocks.
Eric, the only physical way I could literally watch everything is if I had, like, you know, the architect room of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Is the only way I could watch it all. Hold on, I'll switch the channels.
It is a truckload of information.
I'll find it.
I've been
Look,
very
there's the
fortunate.
one.
I found Eric early and been able to watch as he goes along.
As I go through. See that? Yeah, you and Polly.
And Polly was there long before me.
Had that luxury of actually watching me put out one or two a day where they don't have to catch up. But I know the feeling of like you got to catch up, but man, that's laid out there. It's going to stay there in that format, and take your time. Creator puts you here. You're on his schedule, not mine. You know, that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, you know, if you and some people come in and rifle it out in a couple of weeks. Some people.
Okay, so I don't want to go far off topic, but there's an interesting ability that a yogi has demonstrated in Hinduism. A Swami Yogananda or something like that was able to look at a book and read it, not understand the book at all, but just through the field understand what was in the book without even reading the book.
Man, I tell you what, whatever they have over there in India,
whatever you call that,
strong
clairvoyance or fucking just supernatural
Osmosis.
fucking, I don't know.
India is on a whole nother level. The books that they have tell all about how they were using magnetic frequency to do surgeries and perform like the most amazing feats. It's unimaginable. You should really look into some of that. And it's written all over the walls in all of their temples.
With the frequency.
They haven't hidden it from their people.
It's funny to me
that knowledge with their people over there in India.
It's funny to me that those Indians that come over here, in their culture, they're fully licensed doctors and holistic and whatever not. They come here and they have no credentials.
Right.
And it's like they know their shit, and they have to be retaught.
Right.
The Western way.
Because the medical boards control the doctors.
You're wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's like the doctor who tries to do homeopathic will lose his license because he's not following the board.
Most of the time.
Coffee,
very hush.
I suggest Homebrew's channel over mine any day. He breaks down shit a lot better than I do. I just point at shit and be like, here, you got to do a little. John brings fucking Jupiter, man. It's moons.
I stand information.
And he doesn't cuss. Too much. Everybody's always hung up on the language. I'm like, you got a problem with language, go to Homebrew.
Now, Homebrew has this one video. If y'all missed it, I highly recommend it, where he's talking about the plasma webs.
Yeah, that was my satire.
That was a good one.
That was, I worked all night and it was 4:30 in the morning. I'm just getting home. Like, yeah, you know what? This
You're
is
like,
perfect.
fucking plasma web. What is this? So hilarious.
That was probably the video that started the whole fucking AJ Lewan.
That's what
Oh my
started
God.
the hate crime.
Yep.
He made her mad.
Yeah, I go into a broader spectrum of information that I can't help it, man. I see one thing, I'm like, holy shit, and then it's like, holy shit, you know. John's gonna
The
catch
more
up.
I look, the more I see a unified field theory. I mean, there's no denying it.
Oh yeah, we definitely proved Einstein is wrong.
Well, how do you explain you showing us that mural and it being readily translatable to pretty much anyone that can look at it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're looking at. You just your eyes don't want to translate it because something's blocking it in your head.
Programming. Yeah, and then I know. I break it down, and once somebody actually looks at my breakdown, it fucking breaks right through the program, and they're like, "Holy shit!"
Mm-hmm.
You know, mind blown. How many times and how many people have told me their mind is blown? My mind was blown over the fucking shit the first time I looked at it.
I didn't want my programming broken down. I liked believing in Santa Claus and, you know,
For anybody that
ever variant shit.
Yeah, exactly. For anybody that ever saw that at WFO fucking interview, you heard me cry. Openly fucking weep for fucking 20 minutes. It was bad. I couldn't believe what was going on after I realized what was going on. It fucking it fucked with me really hard. Nobody had ever read that before. Are you kidding me? And I'm sitting here looking at it. I thought I was crazy, maybe. I don't know. I had to go to a linguist and have him look at it. And then he told me I wasn't crazy. So, you know, it was.
But the question is anyone crazy? I don't think there is a normal.
No.
Normal only if you follow the
I can tell you this much. Yeah, I'm going to just have to go with, there are crazy people, brother, that don't have the capability to grasp or hold any sort of reality, unfortunately.
I agree, but I'm just not saying like.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm just going through that right now. Yeah, I have
You're
to.
all crazy. Everyone seems
all
to be
crazy. I'll take that one.
We're all a little damaged, just a little.
Just a little. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Hey, but we can heal. That's the beautiful part. That's the beautiful part. We can heal, and that's a choice.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm getting dark hair.
Yeah, you're looking good.
I was white 2 years ago. I'm white.
I know. I called you Noah.
Yeah.
That's the paint you've been using. What are you talking about?
It's a motherfucking stem cell production. I got the damn goosebump in the back of my back all the time and my neck. And every time I turn around, I'm getting goosebumps everywhere. I'm producing them stem cells.
Where you going?
My brother said that I have a gray patch because of stress in my life last couple of years. He's been like, "Hey, what have you been doing to your hair?" I'm like, "I've been fucking goosebumping, dancing."
Fuck yeah. It makes you younger dancing. See? I'll tell you what. For me,
well, I dance in my chair, but I got two left feet. I'd fall on my face.
Yeah, I look stupid. That's why I don't do it on camera. Well,
yeah.
But it helps. Oh my God. It's just some good fucking music, and you just be conscious of your field while you're doing it. You know, it just, and I can feel her feel when I'm really paying attention and stuff. You know, you can feel different levels of her feel and stuff. It's like you're between field lines or something. working on it, still playing, you know. But I mean, just because I mean, this is all baby steps, but the dancing and the flow of your energy really helps with playing with the magnet.
I get great emotional release from listening to lectures or certain stories that really move the heart, but bring you to like a blissful tears. I find huge emotional release from that.
Yeah.
Even under stressful conditions, it's like those bliss tears are so wonderful that obviously there's a chemical composition that's different than just being upset.
I do yoga, and I prefer to do it outside. I kid you not. I feel it in the palms of my hands. It's like I can feel every little thing that's out there. I feel it. I feel it all. It's all alive, and I can feel it all.
Well, human beings can feel magnetic.
I center myself to, you know, feel all this life around me, and then me in the center of all this life. That, I don't know, it's just empowering. It feels very powerful. Like you can draw on that energy of all the life around you.
You just gotta stack your magnet.
Yeah.
You gain all the magnets.
Right.
Patsy's got one too. That's how the animals still talk. That's how they know what we're doing. You don't have to talk to your dog; they know you're home. You know, 10 minutes before you get there, because you're sitting there in your car. And I know you have that fucking little bit of a rush here when you realize I'm almost home. Your dog just did. Your dog just did because you're intent to the world. You're almost home. And that's how the dogs and the birds, and that's why we need to get back to that, because we're supposed to be healing these fuckers out there. And they're going crazy right now because we're not really down. We're not emitting carbon to the field on mass. So we need to be
distracted. We're distracted by everything but what we're feeling.
On purpose, of course. So it began at the Tower of Babel.
Well, you say we're entering a 3-star time. Other science says that we're entering the three things of times that line up with the Great Cataclysm. There's other things that suggest threes of magnitude. It's not all coincidence. Like, you know what I mean? They want to be like, oh well, you know, this is just its own separate thing. This is going wrong.
Not a damn coincidence.
There's more interconnectedness than they want to admit.
Oh, I love Patsy Cline.
Yeah, the flu was non-existent last year. First time in human history.
So when they say, "Oh well, it's just a coincidence," like that's so hard to believe.
Well, yeah. And that's when you come into those people that are in those little cubicles at Franklin. And you just got to realize they're taking a paycheck. Simple as that. They sold their soul for fucking rent money. It's fucking sad. You can find a better job.
Yeah, what they don't realize is they didn't really sell it. They just gave it away.
Yeah.
And it's not even theirs to give away, so it's still theirs. They just don't want to take ownership and birthright.
See, well, that goes into the whole why are so many people having mental problems and shit like that, man? Because they've been recycling souls for too fucking long.
It's true, yeah.
That's why. Nobody's got to go home to dad. Nobody's got to have their Mai Tai time.
Well, you live artificially. Everything about your world is artificial. You are a natural human animal, and you live in a damn fish tank.
They tell us right in their own words that our soul force is driven upwards as we conquer over each other. And then they drain off of that gnarly force in the halls of Amenti for 100 years out of 1,000 of their lives, because their lives are shortened for being here. And that's their solution to suck off our soul juice. Now, they'll also tell you in the same breath, they can't kill the soul. They have to release the fucking soul back into a body. We haven't gone home for too long. Way too long.
I remember in church, they're always like, well, you need to follow these commandments and live this certain way so that you can basically become your own God and run your own galaxy or universe.
Over people.
Yes.
But see, that's not
the
how
goal.
creation was designed.
I like it, John. Sounds good to me.
Well, eventually, Daniel, you'll be a sun and have reign over a solar system, at least.
I'm pretty sure that star went out a long time ago.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm a black hole and I'm just absorbing information at this point. And eventually I'll find what I'm looking for and I'll be like, aha! And then I'll be like, light out.
Well, I got some news for you.
No more blackness.
There's 9 of us on this planet that have been suns before. There will be a new sun.
9, eh?
Yeah, it's very clear. We
Cool.
gotta get along.
I wonder who the last 3 are.
For billions and billions. I think I know, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Things are in the air right now. I'm just hanging out here. I know what the end result is, but I don't know how
I'm not laughing at you. I swear I'm not laughing at you.
No, I know, because you probably know exactly what I'm thinking. And I just don't know. I don't know. I don't have that answer. I don't want it.
I don't know.
I don't
have an
it.
answer.
I'm not looking for it. I've got too many already.
I just assume that it all works out.
Yeah, I know the end result. I really don't care at this point. What else we got, brother? Creators of every atom, and we see the obviousness of a plan coming together, right?
What else we got? We got superpositioning muons and negative electrons. Think about that.
We do. That's some good shit. It is.
That's some really good shit. That's some cosmic wisdom.
What do you want, little Ito?
So I got a question. So bringing that up, and we're going to talk about a little bit about electrons and muons. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. Okay, so if electrons are negative charge, is that the circuit the muons travel, and that's the electricity that we're using is the muon, not the electron? Is that the misunderstanding in science?
The muon drives, because they say every atom in the universe has way too much energy, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's your muon.
Yeah.
It provides the energy and it holds all those particles together because it's particle. The electron, it's a particle universe, but the particles are held together by the muon, by the magnet, by the frequency 1748 each one. It's that simple. It's not something we really have to overthink. Because
I'm gonna bring up an ancient problem that they may have foresaw with the whole energy thing. Maybe they realized manifesting the magic and magnetic manifestation created, slightly small black holes around everything through us, like.
Oh yeah, when 2 or more come together in His name, absolutely.
It has the same danger as it does the potential for everything else.
The God seed, yes, we can create that ourselves. We don't need an ark. So that's in one of my videos.
No, I know. I need to cut you.
I love you.
I will shut up. I will go watch some videos.
I did. I made a previous video that does walk us through that, and it was using Ken Wheeler and his little demonstration of the magnet.
You get what I mean? Like, okay, so if we manifest things out of our imagination, literally create matter, that magnetic pole creates a black hole, right?
Well, all we got to do is cut it off, and we have manual abilities on and off.
See, I think that's why they emotionally were immature for the power that they were bestowed. That's why that's why they need us. Agreed.
They need us. We need them. People, that's like just like in the
Yin and
video.
yang,
I mean,
baby.
people say Earth would be better without us. No, the fuck she would not. She wouldn't be dead without us. She requires us for life. She requires us to shield her and everything on her in this system. And that is the symbiotic relationship of creation. That's not a coincidence. We breathe plant farts. I keep going to that one. I mean, of course, we get the better end of the deal. Roses smell great.
And trees breathe people farts.
Yeah, they get the shitty end of the deal. That's where I'm at with it.
So one thing I'm trying to understand, sorry to interrupt, but how do they benefit from the machine, the halls of Mente?
How do they benefit from what?
From recycling souls and the halls.
Well, they lengthen their lives. They lengthen their lives. You know how they were struggling in the beginning? They were struggling with their lives are shorter.
Right.
They're not anymore. Toth is still alive. He's in the Hall of Amente, 100 years out of 1,000, sleeping in our soul light, our energy that we have harvested that lengthens their life span.
Okay. That's what I thought.
The way I see it, John,
Huh?
the way I see it, John,
Okay.
is the way they use blood and do transference, they collect knowledge. But at the same time, they take the vitality portion and not the knowledge. And so while they extend their lives, they're not extending their intellects.
Yes. They're stale.
They're stagnant.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I agree. Daniel, yes. Absolutely.
And it's mainly because of how they use the blood. It's completely forbidden. In esoterics, proper Hindu esoterics, it's completely forbidden. You're not allowed to use any bodily fluids. That's all bad stuff. Toenails, hair clippings, like that's all bad stuff. You're not supposed to. That's voodoo stuff, and that's like it causes extreme aging, and it uses vital life force or chi in a dark way, and it pollutes the soul. Because it's forbidden. You're not supposed to. It's going against free will. It's going against people's ability to choose because you're manipulating them in ways they don't know. And usually in esoterics, things that are bad come back like sevenfold.
So that's maybe where, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I hate to say demons, but there's a lot of things that, I guess demons could be something that was the black magic. But I don't necessarily see like a demon
okay, I'll be on the way.
Attaches to a person. I don't know, I just don't see that. And maybe that's just the way I think.
I'm gonna have to cut out. Oh, me too. I gotta cut out. I gotta go feed the masses.
Have fun.
I gotta go sketch. You two should still talk because I want to watch something tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch myself.
Me, I like to sit back and listen. I try not to do too much.
Well, you two haven't talked a whole lot.
Right.
It's been me and Polly dominating. Now it's the Don and Danny show.
I'm pretty dominant.
Don't worry, Eric. Let me break my cherry first.
I'm not worried. I gotta go finish the mural. I got the ladies waiting on me over here.
Okay. Well, I had to go at 9 anyway, so.
Have fun, everybody.
Thank you
Bless you all.
This is the best fucking interview. I mean, like shit. We've done almost
3 hours. Yeah, 2 hours 40 minutes.
Seems like 3 minutes, man. It's been great.
Great.
And thank everybody in chat because I'm glad everybody came.
I will rewatch and go through the comments, and I'll pick apart what people want to talk about next time.
Yeah.
There you go.
So let's try another one again then.
Love you all.
Love you too.
Love you all.
People.
Bye, Polly. Bye, John. Bye, Daniel. Bye, everybody.
Peace
Have a good night.
Love you guys.